What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bull Combo. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Coming at you guys with another edition of the weekly Metaverse update, and it has been a massive week for the Metaverse. But before we jump into that, guys, if you're here watching this video now, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and smash that like button to go ahead and support the channel. It's really going to help the YouTube algorithm. It helps show YouTube that you guys enjoy this content, and it'll push it out to other people that enjoy similar content. So if you want to help out there, I would greatly appreciate it. And along those same lines, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Come at you guys with these weekly updates related to virtual land, metaverses, things going on in the NFT space. And not only do I want to make sure you guys see it, but I also want to make sure that you guys are notified when I post new content. So make sure to also hit that bell to get notified. All right, guys, so let's jump into the weekly Metaverse update. And before we start our update, I just want to preface this by saying the Metaverse had a pretty massive week. If you're at all involved in the Metaverse, if you're all involved in the NFT space, it was an extremely large and extremely important week for the entire space and ecosystem as a whole. Not only did the Meta announcement drive a renewed interest in metaverses and a lot of exploratory investment from a lot of different places, but we also saw an important event go down this weekend in New York City that really did kind of solidify the movement that we're seeing and that we're currently experiencing right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the update and talk about all the amazing things that went down this week. And we are going to kick things off with NFT NYC. So NFT NYC went down this weekend. It was the largest in-person NFT gathering to date. NFT NYC saw NFT enthusiasts, artists, blockchain gaming projects, and everyone in between gathering for the first inaugural NFT convention. The event included presentations from projects like the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, the Sandbox, and many other players in the space, whether it be play-to-earn, blockchain gaming, etc. There were also announcements, breakout sessions, and some pretty insane after parties. NFTs have come a very long way in a very short time, and NFT NYC, coupled with the recent mainstream adoption of NFTs, shows a very clear turning point in the way NFTs are being viewed. Not only are they being viewed as something that's legitimate and tangible, but they're being viewed as something that's serious enough to warrant its own in-person event. And I think this is just the beginning. I do very much think this was a very historic event, NFT NYC, in many respects, and I think that this week as a whole was very historic for the future of metaverses, especially play-to-earn games. But let's jump from NFT NYC and the Metaverse chat to a slightly different area and a different arena with the music scene, with a very important announcement that came out yesterday from Avenged Sevenfold. Yesterday, we saw the announcement of the Deathbats Club, Avenged Sevenfold's newest NFT collection. Not only is this an NFT collection, but it's an exclusive fan experience. So the Deathbats Club is a collection of 10,000 Deathbat NFTs, each with exclusive looks and traits. But it doesn't stop there. Each trait is linked to different utilities, with some Deathbats including traits that award the owner things like tickets for life or meet and greets for life, merch discounts, and other exclusive band experiences like private lessons, golf outings, and everything in between. The Deathbats Club is expected to release sometime in late November or early December. And as far as I'm aware, Avenged Sevenfold is the first mainstream musical artist to embrace NFTs as a utility for their fan base in this way. It's really exciting to see this being embraced by the music scene, and not just the music scene, but such a large and heavy-hitting band as Avenged Sevenfold. It really just goes to show that there is a ton of utility behind these NFTs. And I think that the way they're adopting them specifically for this project is genius. It's absolutely genius. Not only are they giving these fans, especially their diehard fans, the ones that are willing to do whatever it takes to show how much of a diehard fan they are, they're giving them a chance to be part of a very exclusive club. But on top of that, they're also giving them the chance to win some pretty awesome rewards. Some of those are long-term or even lifelong rewards. So if you are a diehard fan of the band, I think this is a really cool way to show that. And I think that we're going to see a lot more fan and band-style NFT projects like this emerge, with artists being able to interact directly with their fan bases while also offering fan bases very exclusive experiences and interactions with these artists. So I do think it's going to be another way to reward your largest fans, to really blur the line between artist and fan base and kind of create that intimate relationship between artists and their fan base that allow for a stronger community. And I think that obviously a stronger community in any space is going to be very beneficial. So very cool stuff here from Avenged Sevenfold. Can't wait to see what other musical artists come out with things like this in the near future. The Sandbox. So, as you heard me mention earlier, there was a lot of Metaverse news this week, and there was a lot of eyes drawn to the Metaverse, and I don't think there was a platform that experienced more success this week in particular than the Sandbox. The Sandbox announced a new strategic round of funding that saw the platform rake in $93 million from companies such as SoftBank, Samsung Next, and LG. Between this announcement and Meta's recent Metaverse announcement, all eyes quickly locked on to other Metaverse platforms such as Decentraland, and particularly the Sandbox. This saw the Sand token rise to well over $3 this week, which was absolutely insanity. On top of that, lands on OpenSea hit a new all-time high floor of 1 ETH after a massive influx of interest. In addition to the new round of funding and the massive influx of exposure, so in addition to the new round of funding and all of the new eyes on the platform itself, they also announced the Quan land sale, which saw 300 lands sell out in a matter of seconds. 100 premium lands and 200 regular lands. Even though the premium lands were selling for close to $12,000 US, the demand is clearly still there. Additionally, they announced an upcoming Deadmau 5 NFT collection. The date is to be determined still. They also announced the Walking Dead game jam that's going to start on November 8th. And the final and probably most anticipated announcement was made during the NFT NYC presentation a couple days back by the Sandbox. It was announced that the Sandbox Alpha Pass will be going live on November 16th. You heard that right, folks, November 16th. I know a lot of us have waited a very long time. Some have waited days, some have waited months, some have waited years for the Sandbox Metaverse to finally open its doors in any capacity, and it looks like we're finally going to see that day. November 16th is the day that the Alpha Pass is going to go live. From what I understand, there's going to be a limited number of individuals that are going to be awarded an Alpha Pass, and then they're going to be able to play the Sandbox experiences, earn sand, earn experience, earn rewards during this alpha season. And then from here, they're going to be opening up additional portions of the map, allowing additional creators to publish their lands, and really kind of just allowing the Metaverse map to kind of spread out and come to life. There were some huge roadmap updates announced as well by the Sandbox. I won't list them all here, but if you want to go to their Medium article, you can see them all listed out. Some important updates included a mobile expansion of the game at the end of next year, as well as focusing on making the Sandbox an entertainment destination, which I thought was a very particularly interesting spot for the team to be focusing on, but it makes a lot of sense from a Metaverse perspective. However you shake it, guys, the Sandbox is doing huge things right now. The only thing we can really do is grab a piece of land, maybe grab some sand, and kind of hang on for the ride, because I have a feeling we're going to see some huge things going on over the next few weeks and months with the Sandbox, especially as their Metaverse platform goes live, and I can't wait to be a part of it. EA. In a recent earnings call, Electronic Arts executives revealed that they believe NFTs and blockchain are the future of the gaming industry. While this announcement probably isn't as surprising as it might have been a few short months ago, EA showing an early interest in NFTs bodes very well for player ownership. The company went on to say that while they are still very early in the analysis phase, we can likely expect future titles from the company to include NFT items for digital ownership, as well as play-to-earn rewards. The announcement comes shortly after Ubisoft announced their intent to venture into the play-to-earn space, and has been a key investor in blockchain gaming heavyweight Animoca Brands, the company behind many play-to-earn titles, including the Sandbox. Really big stuff here from EA, guys. It's really not a surprise that they're taking the same route that Ubisoft already announced. At this point, it's pretty clear that play-to-earn gaming, blockchain gaming, NFTs are the future of gaming. The level of ownership they provide users is unparalleled. The level of reward they provide users for their time put into a game is also unparalleled. The level of control they allow a user over their game experience just can't be beat. And so it makes a lot of sense for EA to make this announcement. As you heard me mention, Ubisoft's already made a very large investment in Animoca Brands, which owns the Sandbox, among other very successful play-to-earn platforms. So I think it's very clear that the gaming companies have taken note of this, they have taken notice, and while there aren't any huge games that have been announced from these companies, we can imagine that they are starting to look at this concept, at this technology, and are probably in the early phases of developing games that will work on the backbones of NFTs and of blockchain and play-to-earn gaming, and I think that's very exciting. Now, I'm curious to see if some of the other gaming companies get in on it, specifically companies like Activision Blizzard, since I know they have a lot of association with China, and China has banned cryptocurrency and blockchain gaming like that in general, so it's a very slippery slope. Hopefully that doesn't hold Activision and Blizzard back from being able to capitalize on the NFT and play to earn style and concept, because I think it's very important that all companies transition to that. Nevertheless, something to keep an eye on, something to think about and to consider as we go down this timeline. I can't wait to see what other companies announce things like this in the near future. Upland. Upland recently had several NFT collectible sales. The first being a Spirit Halloween themed collection, and the second being an NFL Players Association collection. Both collections were delivered to recipients over the last week. Both contained very cool 3D NFTs themed to Spirit Halloween and the NFL respectively. Upland calls these Legits, which I think is their proprietary name for the NFT collectibles. And while I could say that they probably could come up with a catchier name than Legits, it's very cool to see them offering these types of collectibles inside of the platform. They look pretty good. It looks like, at least in some of these instances, like the Spirit Halloween sale, you were able to buy things such as a townhouse that you can then place on your land and have it be visible in the map. So architecture that can be placed on the map, that's very cool. Upland has been doing some pretty big things recently. They also announced a huge round of several $1 million worth of funding as well. So they're another one of those platforms that companies are starting to look at and take a lot more seriously. In addition to the NFTs release and the new round of funding, they also opened up Nashville this week. So Nashville can now have land purchased inside of it. It's the first city to be opened up in Upland in a little bit now, and as can be expected, the land sold out pretty quickly, as has been the case in all of these platforms. But you can still buy some lands on resale very cheap, much cheaper than in other cities right now. So if Upland's your thing, I definitely recommend getting in there, checking it out. If you bought one of those packages, get in there, open those packages, and make sure to collect those NFTs. Earth 2. It's Earth 2's 1-year anniversary month. It's been very quiet recently within the Earth 2 community. However, that all came to an abrupt end this week with the release of several Twitter posts and a brand new country. Several days back, CEO Shane Isaac changed his Twitter banner to a rendered image that appears to be from the Earth 2 game itself. Historically, Shane has done this prior to an announcement, and the image he uploads is usually related to the announcement in some way. Additionally, he posted some further updates stating there will be rewards for E2 supporters and random releases throughout the month. It doesn't look like users needed to wait very long for the random release portions to kick in, as yesterday Israel was opened up for land purchasing. There was no announcement prior to the drop, which led to some very unhappy community members, but personally I think it's really tough to maneuver this, as on one hand they want users to have a chance, but announcing these things has historically led to some pretty bad user interface experiences. So in this scenario, it sort of made sense for them to release this without an announcement. Although I also think that no matter what, there's always going to be people that are upset, regardless of the way it's approached. Nevertheless, hopefully they can find a better way to appease the community in future drops. And we'll have to keep an eye out for what other releases occur this month on the Earth 2 platform. Nike. The Oregon-based company has filed several new trademarks this week that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual branded sneakers and apparel. According to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Nike filed applications on October 27th for Nike, the brand's famous slogan, "Just Do It," and its swoosh logo the following day. 2 more applications for the Air Jordan and Jumpman logos were also filed. In total, 7 different applications have been submitted. Within the applications are mentions of the sale of virtual clothing, headwear, shoes, and accessories in online and virtual worlds. In addition to the trademark requests, Nike is also hiring Metaverse-minded staff. According to a search of Nike's jobs, the company recently posted openings for a virtual material designer of footwear and other virtual design roles. Obviously, no surprise here. Nike's a clothing, shoes, and accessories company, and all of those things still apply, even in game worlds and Metaverse-style experiences. So doesn't really surprise me that Nike's getting in there early. Obviously, they're doing this for a few reasons. 1, to get a jump start on just creating Metaverse-style content, but 2, to make sure to trademark everything so that as we make this eventual transition into the Metaverse, their IP property isn't being infringed upon by other creators. So, very smart move by Nike. Like I said, I imagine we're going to see other companies do this as well. We're seeing a ton of companies get in on this right now. We're going to see a ton more companies get in on this, specifically apparel companies. Nike is just the first large brand to make waves in the news by doing so. The next few weeks will probably yield several other articles regarding several other companies doing the same thing, though. All right, guys, and our last topic for the week, but not the least topic for the week, is definitely Veve. So Veve has just been crushing it. Week after week, they're coming out with all sorts of incredible stuff, whether it be amazing drops, new news on migrations, awesome partnerships, new brand licenses. The list goes on, and this week was no different. They kicked this week off with the Ultimates #1 comic. followed by the Dia de los Muertos USPS stamp collection, which is a first of its kind, by the way. Basically, they partnered with the United States Postal Service to create digital collectible stamps. Then they rounded out the week with the Eternals #1 comic and the announcement of this weekend's Eternals-themed Marvel Mighties figures in blind box format. We are still awaiting an update on the Immutable X migration status. Last I checked, and according to the Medium article, I believe that was supposed to be completed at the end of October. Obviously, we're already into November now. Now, we're not going to go after Veve or anything just yet because obviously migrations like that take time. Delays can be encountered. They can run into hiccups that weren't foreseen previously, and I imagine we'll probably have an update on what's going on here soon. Nevertheless, it's interesting to note that the migration still doesn't appear to have been completed, especially since all of the NFTs still appear to reside within the Veve app and on the original blockchain that they resided on. They haven't appeared to migrated to Immutable X yet. So once that happens, we'll make sure to include that in the update, and I imagine we'll get updates from Veve as soon as that migration has officially completed. All right, guys, so that was all I had for this week. It was a crazy week in the world of metaverses. So much attention and so many eyes and so much money, quite frankly, was poured into the metaverse. Decentraland, and specifically the Sandbox, enjoyed the most success that they've probably enjoyed thus far in their very short lifespans, especially the Sandbox. I can't say enough good things about what that team's doing with their project, and if this renewed level of interest is any indication of what the future holds for them, I think they're going to be doing big things. Let me know what you guys enjoyed about this week's update. Let me know if I missed something that you want to include here, if you want to let everyone know about. Obviously, I know I did. There's so much stuff to cover at this point. I really have to pick and choose what I include in this video. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to you guys for like 45 minutes to an hour, and no one likes that. So make sure to comment with that stuff down below. Other than that, guys, I want to thank you, as always, for the support on this video and on the channel in general. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, an excellent weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.